we got The Invisible Man.
Oh, man.
Again, a movie that, like usual, you're like, dude, you gotta see this movie. You gotta watch it. And like, you watched it the week before. Like, you're like, dude, I watched it the other day. I'll watch it again right now.
I was telling you for days. I was like on you for days to watch it.
Yeah, I went into this movie, again, zero expectations, just like The Witch. And the trailer was good, but you know,
It looks like, oh, okay.
it kind of like seems like the Kevin Bacon one,
The
I
Hollow
guess.
Man, yeah.
And you're like, I mean, okay, only from your very strong recommendation. I was like, all right, let's watch this movie. It was like a Friday night. And this movie is fucking great.
It's incredible.
It's phenomenal. It's one of my favorite movies in the last couple of years,
Yeah.
man. Like, it blew me away. And I was genuinely terrified multiple times.
You screamed
I
a couple
screamed.
of times.
There's a few times I
You jumped
screamed.
more than a few times.
Like, obviously, there's going to be spoilers, guys. So, specifically, I'll just say the one time I screamed the loudest was when she's in the attic and she finds the phone. And then the whole movie, you're like, where's the guy? He's invisible. He's somewhere.
He could be anywhere.
And then, like, she looks down the attic door again, and then she takes paint and throws it down the attic hole, and he's just right there, and he gets covered in paint.
Yeah.
And I fucking screamed. I was like, ah!
You were like, oh shit. You were like literally going, fucking A.
Dude, I was scared shitless, man.
That movie was so smart because they took the idea of, okay, this guy is invisible, but they made it. They turned it into this story about what it's like to be in an abusive relationship, and like people who are in abusive relationships, they're pretty much like in their own horror movies, just in their lives.
Yeah.
And they're stuck and they're trapped in this horrible life.
But he did it in such a smart way that it was
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah.
And you really like felt that like these people who are trapped in these situations, they can't escape.
Yeah,
And she
exactly.
goes through this. The opening of the movie is this crazy elaborate scheme that she's clearly been planning for weeks. And it's not the first time she's tried to escape.
Yeah, clearly.
And she almost doesn't get out alive. And it's just fucking the whole opening. I was shitting my pants just trying to watch her escape.
Exactly. It was very similar to the opening in A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
No dialogue, but you can tell what's going on.
Tension.
And Elizabeth Moss showed, because I'm a fan of hers, because you watch Mad Men.
Yeah.
But I've watched The Handmaid's Tale, and I've seen a bunch of her independent films that she's made, and she really is one of the most talented actors working today, and she carries that movie. She emotes so much and gives so much to a performance that, like, so few actors are capable of, and she carries this movie on her shoulders.
Yeah. She's so talented that she can get a role like this and just keep you invested in it the whole time.
Yeah.
And also, when you're watching this movie and she's married to this incredibly rich, incredibly successful, smart, attractive guy, and you're kind of like, how did she get this guy?
Yeah.
How did she get this guy? Because he looks like he could get any person in the world,
Yeah.
any wife he wants. And he even says that, or she even says that too. Like, why me?
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
And so why do you think she
Well, I think
she gets picked?
we don't learn about their history as a relationship, but I think in the past that she has rejected him in the past because no one says no to him. No one has ever said no to him, and that's what drives him crazy. And so I think that in the past she has rejected him, and it's caused him to desperately want her more than anything, which is why he concocts the entire plan of building an invisible suit to terrorize her and force her into coming back into his home.
Yeah. So basically, her previous attempts that you don't see, her
Yeah.
previous attempts trying to escape is her rejecting him,
Yeah.
which he can't take.
Yeah, he hates
So-
rejection more than anything. And it was so smart because in the past Invisible Man movies like Hollow Man and the old Invisible Man, he's biologically invisible.
Mm-hmm.
But in this, especially with our familiarity with Iron Man and like in movies, like we see like the craziest technologies in movies, so we're used to things like
And
this.
in real life.
Yeah, in real life, it's pretty believable that someone could invent this suit that can make you invisible. Like there are invisible, like there's cars that have been built to be invisible. Like not perfectly, but like they're getting better.
It's believable, yeah.
So it's totally believable that a suit like this can exist.
like this suit full of just high quality cameras.
Yeah.
Just projecting
A mirror image.
and
Yeah.
or invisible image. You're right. You do believe it. And the cool thing about it is anyone can do it.
Exactly.
And we see it in the movie, 3 different people put on the suit and become invisible.
Exactly.
And
And also it sets up the possible ideas for a next film for it. 'Cause
Yeah.
she ends up at the end of the movie with an invisible suit.
And the thing with it is He's not in the movie very often. The husband.
No.
Um.
I think they're just a couple, not
Yeah,
married.
but that's one of the things that's great about it is he's just tormenting her, and
Yeah.
you as an audience member, and even he torments his brother. So no one is safe from this guy.
Exactly.
He even torments. He controls his entire brother's life, and his
Yeah.
brother knows he's alive still. And he uses his brother, who eventually gets killed,
Yeah.
impersonating him in the suit to try to kill her friend's daughter.
Yeah.
And they did a good job with like the relationships with the family and her friends.
Yeah.
It was very believable. It's
Yeah.
not like one of those horror movies that falls into, oh, of course she's got these friends that are kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
cliche,
exactly,
but
yeah.
it was a good job. And then you really felt the threat with the daughter. And when like one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie is she's in that like room that she's sleeping in at her friend's house, and she knows he's like she's free. She's
can
starting to
feel him.
believe that he's
Yeah.
invisible. He's
Yeah.
somewhere in the room, and she like starts throwing shit on the floor to see if she can see his footsteps and stuff like that.
It was the first sign of her suspicions.
Yeah, and it was like 5 minutes of that, and you're just like, where is his footsteps?
Because you know he's there.
He's there. He's
and then he
definitely
steps
there.
on the blanket.
Yeah. Holy
The most shocking part of that movie is when she goes to dinner with her sister to try and get her sister to help her out. They had a bad situation before, so her sister became estranged, but she's like trying to repair the relationship, and she's like, I need your help. And then her sister's like, okay, I'm gonna help you. I'll support you with whatever's going on. And then all of a sudden, a knife just starts floating in the air next to her sister and slits her throat. And then it goes right into Elizabeth Moss' hand, and her sister just fucking collapses on the floor, and the entire restaurant freaks out. And then Elizabeth Moss is just sitting there holding the knife. So obviously it looks like she just killed her sister.
Yeah.
And then she gets put into a mental institution. But that scene was like, holy fuck.
The best part of that scene, though, is obviously the shock of it.
Yeah.
But also, for like 2 seconds, her sister's like, you can see the sister in her eyes believes her.
Yeah.
Now she gets what the
Exactly,
fuck she's
she
talking
finally
about.
on her side.
She sees the knife. She's like, oh my God, she wasn't lying. Boom, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Slit my throat. That was
was
the
insane.
craziest scene. Never seen anything like it.
Unbelievable.
This whole movie was kind of like, you've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah.
It's so smart.
Very unique and original.
It's kind of just like a constant chase scene movie. She's on the run.
Cat and mouse. And she's up to this. She's able to defend herself and fight back. Like when we find out she's pregnant, so obviously he doesn't want her to die. And then she, thinking that he's in the room with her, threatens to kill herself. And this gets him to reveal himself, and then she stabs him. And this helps her escape the mental institution.
Yeah. But that scene in the hallway when like his
With the
cameras are
security
going
guards.
on and off.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then he goes to town on those security guards. It was so well shot and just shocking. And then like all the security guards, when they show up on the scene, they're like, they see their friends are all fucking dead. They're like, oh, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
And then he'll just like grab one of them and just shoot them. Oh my God.
And then the rain in the parking lot
Yeah.
when she's chasing after him because now she has the gun.
Yeah.
And she's trying to catch him.
Yeah.
Dude, that movie is phenomenal.
So good.
If you guys have never seen it, The Invisible Man is really, really good.
It's got a fantastic ending, and all in all, it's one of my it really is one of my all-time favorite horror movies.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
It's a bold statement, everybody.
Very
Very
bold.
bold statement. Elizabeth Moss killed it.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more movie
Ooh.
that we're going to talk about.